Next brief little upload with regard to these circumstances I'm experiencing of culprits in my proximity producing fraudulent information and constructing artificial conversation with artificial information regarding any interaction or any involvement or schedule or appointments or anything of the sort. Basically are of exacerbatory offences and of fraudulence. So this upload in my personal space, where there have been tactics of loud noise, music, blaring, covert communication of guilty culprits in my proximity, guilty professionals that harmed my child and I in my proximity, all of these offences, people coming in and out of the building, making claims, making calls. I am recovering from medical negligence. This is a quiet, peaceful abode. I am experiencing individuals in my proximity that have nonsensically tried to construct conversations and calls that aren't authentic. With the circumstances as they are, as I'm healing, self-healing and minding my body from the injuries I experienced on my farm holdings and in my work, the peaceful atmosphere is being disrupted by culprits that shouldn't be in my proximity at all. There has been noise pollution, etc., etc., and PTRB violations, and these are all mentioned in my impact statement. And with regard to protection laws, the individuals of fraudulent conversations trying to make a Watergate. They're actually just trying to make a controversy that's really, really a concern for a democracy, when there's been so much wealth and energy wasted already in the damages caused to an innocent mother and child, and etc., etc., with so many casualties. So I'm surprised that they wouldn't be sensible enough to address the procedures as they're meant to, and instead, unfortunately, they are of fraudulence. So I'm wondering where the authorities are on this matter, because I haven't had interaction or contact from or with about any of the circumstances. There's a bystander effect occurring, turning a blind eye. All of these matters have not been addressed. I'm sharing publicly and due to necessity. And in the meantime, there's nonsense of constructs that are insulting to everyone. It's insulting to the Constitution, it's insulting to civil society, and it's insulting to humanity. So the individuals constructing chat and conversation that isn't authentic are all subject to investigation, as I have mentioned in my impact statement. And there is an impact statement. There's 2 impact statements, and there's an ombudsman procedure initiated in 2017. And there are steps being skipped in this process that are very, very serious. So the guilty professionals that have been in my midst, that have disrespected my child and I, are not above the law, and they are not within remit of my royal patronage. Now, I am fully aware of the belongings that the culprits are trying by hook and crook. My personal documents, my personal records, my personal memories. I'm fully aware, by hook or crook, the culprits in my midst of exacerbatory offences, making a bad situation worse, attempting to steal from my personal belongings. Now, they haven't paid their debts. They're trespassing on my property and they've harmed my child. There are 2 impact statements and there's an ombudsman procedure that was initiated in 2017. Now, I'm an educated person. I'm not a legal eagle. I'm not a lawyer. But there are procedures and policies regarding all such matters. And there are debts owing. And there is displacement intended. There is denigration and defamation occurring. And there is treason at play. So those individuals that are trying to get from my personal belongings what they have no right to, that have disrespected the Constitution, and that are of false constructs and assisting offences against the state, such individuals are not above the law and are not within remit. And I hope the State Claims Office has understood my circumstances with regard to the offences that I'm to be compensated for. It's as explicit and as simple as that. As a law-abiding citizen, there is no explanation or excuse for what I am experiencing, and there is no excuse or forgiveness of any sort by any means for any of the harm that was caused unduly to my child. So those that think they're above the law, that have been blasphemous, treasonous, and slanderous, and that have taken and gained from a universal light worker, are incurring a cross that this country will carry for a long while, with the casualties that all of this vendetta has incurred on a community. And my good work at home and abroad, that is common knowledge in recovery, to be disrespected with the gains and saves that have been made, is highly discourteous to women and children's rights. So I'm entitled to full protection, and I'm entitled to reparations, and I'm entitled to my privacy, and I'm entitled to my human rights. So those in my proximity damaging society, democracy, and humanity are liable and are not within remit to help themselves to my personal belongings. And those that have harassed my privacy, my abode, my personal space, while perpetrating injustice and while obstructing justice for my son and I, are not above the law. And that's from many perspectives, with blasphemy occurring, defamation, treason, and trespassing. I am pleading to the United Nations to address these awful offences that not only I have experienced, but that other misfortunes have also. The United Nations, you've received my experiences on these uploads. There's no justification.